So you want to fix Time Ward, huh? But you don't know how to do it. So why does no one use this skill? Well, it's a Mesmer skill. It's on fast casting. Those are 2 points against it, in that Mesmer tends to want to run specific skills. So Mesmer plus fast casting elite usually isn't the best thing. There's just better options. So like, what does this skill do? Creates a ward that reduces casting time and recharge of skills. So it reduces recharge of skills by 20% and recharge or casting time of spells by 20%. So this really isn't that useful for most things. 20% faster really isn't substantial in a lot of situations because of aftercast. So even if you have like a team of like Ellies, for example, let's say you want to speed up a team of Ellies for some reason, taking 2-second casting time, like, and reducing it by 20% is not going to make or break those Ellies dealing good damage because of aftercast. So even if you reduce casting time, like there's a better way to do it, and I'll go over that in a second, but reducing casting time is only half the battle. Aftercast is also part of the problem when dealing with casting spells. Aftercast lasts 0.75 seconds. So if you're spamming spells, you still have to account for aftercast. So 20% really doesn't do that much. And then 20% skill recharge really doesn't do that much either. There's better options. One of them is linked in here. It's not elite as well, and any profession can run it. So if you're going to reduce recharge, you probably just want to run Standard of Wisdom. 60% chance to reduce recharge by half. Combine that with a 40-40, and you're looking at pretty good odds of having recharge of spells. So there's really no reason for that. And then for the offense version, increasing casting or decreasing casting time on allies, stolen speed exists, right? Stolen speed. So let me pull up stolen speed really quick so you can see it to believe it. All right, here's stolen speed. So it's a hex, hits adjacent, very spammable, extremely spammable actually. Lasts a pretty good duration. If you have a stolen speed Mesmer, even at just like 14 fast casting, it's basically maintainable. The cooldown gets reduced to like 7 or 8 seconds and then lasts for 9. But allies have minus 50% casting time on these foes. So if you want to speed up some Ellies while also shutting down some enemy mages, this is a much better option than Time Ward. It's more spammable, it's more consistent, it's more reliable. It also has a greater effect. This stolen speed plus Standard of Wisdom, this is infinitely better than Time Ward, because this also shuts down enemy mages by doubling their casting time, which in hard mode seriously matters. So stolen speed it's not often run, but it's substantially better for a variety of reasons. It makes interrupts easier, shuts down enemy mages, and this also works on like E-Surge spam. So if you want to have like 4 or 5 E-Surges and you want to speed that up even more with fast casting plus a 40-40, or maybe you don't want a 40-40, you could run this. But this guarantees it as long as the hex is on them. So E-Surge spam plus stolen speed, or Ellies plus stolen speed, is just much better. So how do we fix Time Ward, and what can we even do? So I have some notes. So the problems with Time Ward, it's a ward, but because it's called Time Ward, it's probably not going to drop ward status. So it's just going to stay a ward, which is unfortunate. It's basically worse than stolen speed for reducing casting time. It's an elite skill. So here's why this is bad. It's worse than E-Surge, it's worse than Ineptitude, it's worse than Panic, it's worse than Psychic Instability, and it's worse than Stolen Speed. Stolen Speed, like of those 5 skills, Stolen Speed is the worst, but Psychic Instability is insane shutdown, Panic is insane shutdown, Ineptitude is anti-physical shutdown damage, E-Surge is just spam damage. Those are just better elite skills. Standard of Wisdom exists, it even links it here, which is funny. It's just, if you want to reduce cooldowns on spells, this is the way to do it. Quickening Zephyr is an option, but no one runs that. It's crazy. It's a crazy skill. All right, so proposed changes. So let me pull these up now. Here's the proposed changes. So it's very simple. Keep stats the same for the duration, casting time, cooldown. So all the proposal is basically like a slight buff. So allies in this ward move 33% faster, cast 33% faster, attack 33% faster. Now note it says allies, not non-spirit allies. So this would affect spirits, this would affect minions, this would affect everything in the ward. So this potentially could be a good skill now, because now you have synergy with pets, minions, spirits, physical, mages, everything. And then also enemies in this ward move 33% slower, cast 33% slower. Oh, whoops, I put move twice. I meant to put attack. This should say attack, so ignore that. So move, attack, and cast slower. So basically allies move, attack, and cast 33% faster. Enemies move, attack, and cast 33% slower in the ward. So now it kind of doubles as an anti, like, enemy and pro-ally thing. So it slows down enemies and speeds up allies. So it's still within theme. It's still a ward. Is this viable now? I don't know. It's probably like, if you were to rate it, maybe like a 3 to a 4.5 out of 5 build potential for like comping, because you could have like minions, like the Bone Fiends or whatever in it attacking faster. You could have Spirit Spam attacking faster. You could have all allies casting faster. So now all of, like, if you're running Ellies, Mesmers, Necros, whatever, everyone's just casting faster. Everyone's attacking faster. I just think it's just more viable. Now it also has a debuff on enemies, because in its current form, you could also add in the skill recharge too. Enemies and allies, like 33% faster skill recharge. So let me change this. I actually have the Photoshop thing. Let me just pull that bad boy up. All right, so let's fix the typo here. So let's get rid of attack. All right, let's do this. Let's say if you wanted to make it more viable, skills, there's skills, let's enter here, recharge, 33% faster, and then enemy skills. Now this doesn't really matter, but it's just fun. Now this would be interesting, especially with the recharge and the activation. Now this is it's basically the same thing, but just buffed, because honestly, it's terrible. I don't see why you would use it in its current form, and no one does. And there's literally not even like a PVX wiki test build for this. It's just so bad. Like, people look at this and they're like, it's dog shit. So honestly, you probably need some effect like this to boost it up. Otherwise, it's just never going to be viable, and no one's going to run it. To this day, no one runs it, because it's like 20% faster, like spell activation, and 20% off of cooldowns on all skills. It's decent, but it's not like compared to E-Surge, Ineptitude, Panic, Psychic Instability, it's just nothing. It's like worse than like Keystone Signet. It's worse than Stolen Speed. These are other builds that people run sometimes. It's worse than Signet of Illusions even. It's just not a good skill. But I think this would definitely make it not broken, because all those other things would still be really good, but this would allow you to comp some different things and just fuck around and have some fun. That's the whole point. But I think this would be fine, honestly. But this debuff aspect of it helps in hard mode, because then when enemy gets enemy physical, which usually that's what would be in here, they just move and attack slower, but basically because they're hard mode enemies, they would just move and attack at normal speeds. So it would just help a little bit. Just kind of nice. And it speeds you up, slows them down. So it's exactly what you want. Or if you wanted to remove this aspect of it, this is still substantially better. This is still a huge buff. Your allies moving faster, casting faster, attacking faster, and recharge faster. That's maybe viable, but this like component of it just helps it push it up a little bit more to being like, because a player has to run this, right? Like, if I'm a Mesmer and I play Mesmer a lot, and you show me this, I'm like, maybe I might run that as like a utility thing. But like, compared to just like E-Surge, I always run Psychic Instability. I would never drop Psychic Instability for the current version of this. It's just not worth it. Shutting down nearby with knockdown 4 seconds, it's insane. It's so good. You just completely prevent a large group of enemies from doing something. It's just so fantastic. But this would be a little bit more viable. But yeah, that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or found this interesting or useful. And I'll see you in the next one.